Welcome back to another episode. And in today's episode, I really want to share how to stay relevant in 2026, especially in this rapidly evolving market, the business landscape, the job market. I'm going to be speaking from both of these contexts. And the reality is, when you've got disrupted, rapidly evolving markets, you must evolve as a leader, and the leaders that are going to be leading the future are the ones who evolve. And so, based on my experience over the last decade and speaking to thousands of CEOs, C suite, high level VPs in various size companies all across the world, I'm getting my information from real time feedback by really engaging with a breadth and depth of leaders every week. And my team and I at Career Evolve, we do speak to hundreds of executives every single week. So we're really plugged into what's happening right now. And so I'm going to share what's working, meaning who's breaking through, who's still finding growth, increasing income and revenue in these current conditions. And it's going to be about 5 key traits that you're going to want to focus on evolving as we go into 2026. Because when you've got AI and you've got more competition, more squeezes to the margins and the cash flow, a more cautious market, and a more slow to spend, just slow budgets, slow spend. You've got to be really strategic and intentional about really where you want to focus your energy. And these are the 5 key areas that if you focus on, you'll be well suited and have a strong advantage. And notice how a lot of these are really more about your identity as a leader. And the way I think about it is with leadership identity, you're a product. You're a premium product. You're a business of one. And if you're not thinking about yourself like that at this point, you need to be. We all are. And either you're a commodity or you're a premium product that cannot be ignored in any market. And the great thing about the best products is they sell no matter what because they have tremendous value. They're unique and they're always evolving. So those are the leaders and the products that stand the test of time. And so the first key area you're going to want to evolve in and focus on is depth. This is all about really going deep with your subject matter expertise and your mastery. In a world where we're full of automation, AI, people are using AI to build websites, they're using AI to run companies, they're using AI to write their emails and their marketing, their social media posts, they're using AI for everything. So in a world where everything's just copy and paste, surface level, it's not specific and real, this is where people are craving depth, proof, and demonstration, and really getting to the root and specific real-time example. And this is something that I'm noticing over and over again. I've gotten so immune to all the chat GPT and the automated template type of communication that it's all become white noise. And this is a really big wake-up call for people that used to just rely on surface level, like brand names and clout and the brands on their profile, the brands they've worked with, whoever, big names. It doesn't even work anymore, especially when there's more competition, right? And so then it's more about being deep in your area and being a master at a very specific problem and having specific stories, examples, numbers, metrics to show real proof and real authority in that space. When everyone has access to the same tools, the same copy and paste, what brings real value is showing and demonstrating that experience that others who are just copying and pasting just cannot do. You have to know that you're powerful than the AI machine, and if not, then you've got some work to do. on really refining the depth of your skills and your subject matter expertise. The next piece that you need to build to really be relevant and effective in 2026 is emotional intelligence. And AI and automation and technology has completely killed the EQ in leaders and high performing professionals because they've gotten so codependent on really ease and transactional. We're seeing it with business and also with people in the job search. They're using AI to apply to hundreds of jobs at the click of a mouse. They're using AI to optimize their resume. And so now we've got more of an integrity problem because people aren't being intentional. They're not being emotionally resonant with their audience, with that individual. They're not even attuned. And when you lack that ability to connect and to influence and to really feel and engage in a deeper way, you're less effective as a leader. You're less influential because what AI and technology and tactics and strategy cannot do is move people and engage a room to build trust, build relationships, close the deal. There's parts of these equations that AI cannot replicate because AI cannot project that emotion and that energy. And so it's really key that you start to go deeper on this work. And if that's not your strength, this is going to be a key area of development. And this is something we really focus on the energy levels and awareness of leaders because really the difference between a leader that's, you know, killing it versus falling flat and just feels invisible, a lot of this is their energy. Their energy, their presence, and the energy that they're projecting or not projecting, or they're not even aware of it. And so that's really the next level. You have to really deliver that emotional resonance as a leader, as a business person, as a professional to be effective. The third piece to really be relevant and win in 2026, it's all about authenticity, where we're seeing leaders break through and in markets, whether it's a company or a leader, there's an alignment to that leader. There's an authenticity to what they're saying. There's a realness to it. And authenticity carries a frequency in the voice that can't be mimicked. That performative tone, we're all tired of it. We're in a trust recession right now. People don't trust the government. They don't trust business. They don't trust people. Trust is at an all-time low because of all the fake, all the AI, all the talking, and not that real value and that real intention. And I tell our clients all the time at Career Evolved, you can't fake energy and you can't fake intention. We have highly sophisticated buyers. People are getting smarter, especially if you are trying to market yourself to really sophisticated buyers or you're an executive trying to position your skills in this competitive market. The ones I'm seeing that are breaking through are really the ones that are being bold and authentically themselves. And because there's no one that can do you better than you. And once you've done the work to really understand what you love about who you are as a leader, as a person, what makes you special, and you start to hone in on those pieces and not water them down, but leverage them to your advantage, that's when you start to have a conversation that no one else can have on the planet. And that's when you really start to cut through the noise because it's starting to sound like an echo chamber out there. It's like for those thought leaders that want to cut through the noise, they have to be speaking from their own voice. And a lot of people don't even know what that sounds like because they haven't spent enough time really getting clear on who they are, what their values are, and what they stand for and what they don't stand for. and not being afraid to put your voice behind that with conviction. Because if you're for everything or you try to be everything to everyone, you get nothing back. You resonate with very few people because your message is too watered down to really hit and to really make any type of movement in terms of influence. So that's a key piece. And so, right here, if you're thinking about this right now and you're like, now I understand why I feel like the old paradigm of how I've been thinking about this isn't effective anymore, well, then you should probably take a moment and really think, okay, so what's my plan to evolve? How am I gonna get out of this stagnant place where I'm hitting a brick wall over and over again? Because the messages are only going to get louder until you choose to change and say, enough is enough. It's time to evolve. And so, if this is resonating with you and you'd like our help to get through this transition, whether it's, with your business, with your career, I encourage you to schedule a call with me. Go ahead and go to www.careerevolved.com/schedule. And that's www.careerevolved with a D.com/schedule. Now, I've got two more pieces here before I wrap up this episode on areas that you will need to develop to be more effective and really win in this new evolving market. And that is number 4 is real value and impact. Gone are the days where people are going to pay for just C-suite strategy and people that are not making an impact on the business. And people are wanting more value for those high level investments. Whether it's a role, it's a consultant, it doesn't matter. They don't want to pay someone just to talk and advise on strategy. They also want someone that can execute. So the value and the satisfaction for the value and the price has gone up, and so this is where a lot of people are struggling because they've never thought about their skill set and the impact that they made in terms of how that's measurable value. And at the end of the day, if we're talking about business and you want to get top value for your skills as a leader, as an executive, as a high achieving professional, you need to position around how you're going to make money or save money. And this is something we do regularly with our clients at Career Vault, but it's all about if you want to create demand for your skills, for your business, you need to be positioning your business around a must have, not a nice to have, especially in markets like this. You can't be a vitamin when people are needing surgery. And so if you can position yourself, your business, your skills around a bleeding neck business problem that cannot be ignored, you can create demand in any market. And disrupted markets are actually the best opportunity for value because there's so much pain. There's so many problems. There's so many fires. So many businesses are getting disrupted. They're being forced to pivot, to evolve. That's where the value is. And that's why there's so much opportunity right now. But you have to be able to see it, to seize it. And you can't be waiting for it to hit a job board or for it to come to you. You have to create that demand by driving that value forward, and it's all about positioning and leading with real value because people are not paying for fake value equals fake dollars. It's not, people are getting smarter and they're really getting more cautious with what they choose to spend, and they need to see hard value. And then finally, the fifth piece you want to work on in 2026 to really stand out and be effective is you want to make sure that you are creative and that you're really going forward with evolution and creativity and innovation and really integrating that into your daily life. So it's more of a mindset and a lifestyle than it is just a skill set. So when I think about always evolving, that takes creativity because it's so easy to get comfortable with the status quo, especially if you're in the same business, same role. You see the same people, same processes every day, and you repeat the same habits. So it's tough to maintain that creative edge and that innovative thinking. So, what we personally do at Career Evolved here is we focus on getting 1% better every day. So, even inside my team, every single person at the beginning of the day is setting that intention where you focus on getting 1% better every day. And when you are really intentional about that and you're 1% better every day, after 3 months, few months, you're 100% better. And the compound effect is always evolving and always moving, and you always have to be evolving when it comes to these current conditions. It becomes a mindset, it becomes a culture, it becomes a lifestyle. It can't just be a one and done or when you need to react because then you're too late. You're already behind the 8 ball. And so when you're always evolving, you're creating from a place of just building, you're always testing, you're always iterating, and that's really how you stay relevant. Because it's one thing to get to the top of your game, it's one thing to get to a powerful place in your career, in your business. Then, in order to stay there, you have to evolve. Otherwise, you're gonna fall back, and you're gonna have to either plateau, take a step back, you're gonna get pushed back because you didn't, stay ahead of the curve. So that's what we're committed to doing here at Career Vault. If you enjoyed this episode, you found it valuable, please share it to somebody that needs it. Please take a moment to give us a review, Spotify, iTunes. I really work hard to give free value to this community, and I want to continue to do so. So, helping us get our message out to more people really does support our mission and really helping to raise the consciousness of corporate America and leaders and also business owners out there because, the game is changing. It's evolved, and we're here to help you evolve with it. So, thank you again for all your support, and I'll see you guys next week.